Good morning, everybody. I just poured myself some tea, so I just wanted to talk to you for a minute while that steeps. But today I wanted to make a little bit of a vlog about what it's like to spend a day with me and my OCD. So overall, I would say in general, again, take this with a grain of salt, but overall I would say that my OCD right now feels manageable. I would actually say I'm doing pretty well. I'm very aware of the fact that that could change because it's like an ebb and a flow type thing. And one of the biggest, I guess, factors in all of that is how I maintain it if I keep up with doing what I'm supposed to do. And sometimes I get a little bit lax and I notice that. I notice the difference. Again, I would say I'm doing well, but I'm aware that that is just a right now thing. And I'm aware that that takes effort on my part. But I find some kind of comfort in knowing that I will probably never ever be as bad as I was when I first, I feel like, you know, it's a very like before and after life event type thing of when I feel like my OCD really got to a point, like I can pinpoint when that happened. And I think of my life in terms of like before that and after that. But at that time, when I didn't know what it was and I didn't know what to do about it, I know that I will never get that bad again. And I've said this before, I think that at least now, I will always, like no one's ever gonna take the knowledge away from me of knowing what it is and knowing what to do about it. So I'm always going to be that many more steps ahead. And I feel like each time I have a little bit of a lapse, it gets shorter and shorter, the time period, because I'm like, okay, I gotta kick back into it. I gotta really be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. A bad day here and there, but on most days, I feel like myself. I feel what is normal. I mean, like everybody, you know, everybody's normal is, it's just subjective, but I feel like I am well equipped for dealing with a lot of the thoughts that I have or the obsessions or the impulse to want to do a compulsion. I feel like I'm in a pretty good state. That said, this morning I woke up, I mean, you know, obviously here I am. I woke up and on the days that I have to like get up a little bit earlier than it is comfortable for me or a little bit earlier than I would like to because I had a meeting this morning. On those days, I feel more anxious, especially in the morning. But yeah, I don't know. I just, this morning was one of those days where I just kind of felt not so good. I don't know what the reflections are doing. I don't know where this line reflection is. Is that this? Yeah. But yeah, today was just one of those days where I woke up and I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be a little bit of a rough day. And it's good that I was planning to make this kind of video today because pretty realistic representation of what it's like to have your OCD be managed, but still, again, be cognizant of the fact that you have to put work into managing. I also noticed that depending on hormonally, like where I am in my cycle, that plays a role. And I noticed that like right about now, in my cycle is rougher for me. I think like hormone wise or whatever, my anxiety is worse. So I'd love to hear if that's other people's experience too. So I have a couple things working against me today. It's fine. I have, like I said, I had a meeting this morning and I have a little bit of work to do. So I am going to get to that now and hopefully kind of shake off some of this like icky feeling. Maybe I shouldn't be complaining too much, honestly. Let's go. I'm working from home today and I recognize what a privilege it is to have the option to do that. I've noticed that sometimes when I am in the office, my OCD can get a little bit sticky actually. It starts to feel like I'm trapped and not like trapped in the physical sense. It has nothing really to do with my job or the people at my job. I really, for the most part, love most things about my job. Which I know is fortunate also, but sometimes I might feel stuck in a conversation, like I'm trapped there or trapped in the way that I am worried about how somebody is going to perceive me or something like that. So that's happened from time to time. So I have finished everything that I absolutely have to do right now for work. I think I'm going to go outside for a little bit. I have some stuff that I want to do in the garden. Overall, I feel better. I feel better than I did this morning. I think it just you know, took a little bit of time to work out some of the kinks. Sometimes even when you're doing well overall, you can just have an off day. And I think that's what today was, or an off morning or whatever. I'm going to bet that I'm also gonna feel that way tomorrow. I just have a feeling. I have to get up early because I'm going into the office, and I feel like most of the days that I have to get up early, I feel that way. So I'm betting I'm going to feel that way, but in anticipation of feeling that way, I'm just going to mentally, I guess, do some exposures where I'm just saying, yeah, I'm gonna feel bad, and you know, something bad's gonna happen or whatever. And it's just, you know, reiterating in my mind that it's nothing to be afraid of, and it's just not this anxiety inducing thing. And I feel like I used to get really hung up on that, worrying about how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. I used to get really in my head about how I was gonna feel the next day, and I dreaded going to sleep. I dreaded like waking up in the morning. So it's something that I've worked on, and it's gotten better. But of course, like I said, there's always work to be done. And sometimes, like I said, you just have an off day, and that was this morning. Yeah, I have some things that I have to do in the garden. So I'm gonna do those, like planting some stuff. It's already time for fall plants, like to plant things for the spring, which is crazy to me. I can't believe it. So I'm gonna plant some things that I have. I have to do some pruning, some stuff like that. So I'm gonna get to that now. It's not that hot out. I mean, it's like comfortable out. It's cloudy. The sun keeps going in and out. So I think it's gonna be actually like pretty comfortable outside, which is nice. I'm gonna get outside and see what I can get up to. How about this for a daily exposure? Look at the size of this trimmer. That's what I have to use to do pruning today. This is like, exposure is everywhere. And for somebody who used to not be able to touch a knife in the kitchen, that's pretty good. There are all kinds of cliches, I think, about planting a garden and nurturing it and being patient and watching something grow and starting from a seed and then bearing fruit and all of that. And I think that there's actually a little bit of truth to that when you're talking about somebody with OCD. I've talked before about how I couldn't see the future. I couldn't see anything that was coming up except for what was right in front of me, because I felt like I wasn't going to live to see it. I felt like I wasn't going to have the chance to see it. And I feel like sometimes working in the garden or planting something, because it is a long-term thing. You're playing the long game when you're gardening. You know, I'm planting things now that I'm not going to see the flowers until after the winter. You know, it's August now, and I'm probably not going to see anything until maybe May or June sometimes. It's really an investment. And I think it's a commitment, and it's saying that I am going to see this thing through. I am going to be around to enjoy this thing that I'm putting time into, or I'm going to be able to see this thing be beautiful. I feel like it's kind of its own exposure in working with something and planning for the future, and not just saying, well, I don't think I'm going to be here. I'm not going to live that long. I'm not going to see it. It's not going to happen that way. Really being able to say, no, I'm going to be able to do it, and I'm going to see it, is really exposure therapy. Remember when I said it wasn't that hot out? I lied. It turns out that even though the temperature is not that hot, pretty cloudy actually. I don't really see very much blue sky. It's super humid. So yeah, that's why I'm glistening a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I'm done for now in the garden. So I think I'm gonna go to my parents' house, and I'm gonna have lunch there. And then I will take you guys with me for something I have to do later in the day. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you can hear me. It's like quite a bit later now. I don't know if you can tell. It's like almost dusk. I just got busy with work and stuff after I had lunch, and that was hours ago. But that's like usually how things go. Oh, you guys are gonna be jolting around. Sorry, you're on my dashboard. But anyway, right now I am going to a friend's house. She's on vacation, so I am watching her bird. I'm pet sitting for her, which is really scary for a lot of reasons, because I don't know, I feel all that hyper responsibility that I always feel with my OCD, and I feel all kinds of things, like what if I leave the bird's cage open? What if I don't lock the door? What if I leave the toilet lid up and the bird flies in the toilet and drowns? I don't know. I have like all these things that could happen. Okay, let me scooch you guys over. I don't know if that's any better. Well, hello. Anyway, so yeah, I've gotten better with the pet sitting thing. I just treat it like any other exposure. Part of it is really hard because I remember when I was first really struggling with OCD, like literally that week I had to watch somebody's dog, and I made my mom come with me every time for like a week. You know, I'd have to go there every day, a couple times a day, and I'd make my mom go with me because I was afraid that, like, what if I specifically remember, like, what if I put something in the dog's food? Like, what if I didn't realize that I did it? Or what if I meant to do it? Like, what if I meant to, I don't know, hurt this dog? Yeah, I was like terrified of that. So my mom had to go and sit with me like 3 times a day for, you know, a week because I couldn't do it. I couldn't, but I still felt the responsibility of like, well, I told this person I'm going to watch their dog, so I have to watch their dog. But yeah, let's go in there and let's say hi. The bird's name is Pebbles, so we can say hi to him. That's Pebbles. Come on, bud. You won't come out? He comes out on his own accord, so I'll let him do his thing. Let him hang out. He usually sings to me every day, so we'll see what kind of concert we get today. Heavy hasn't sung to me all night. I don't know what's going on. He's kind of giving me the cold shoulder. Maybe he's like camera shy or something. I don't know. Make of that what you will. But he's made a couple of peeps, but no talking, no singing, no nothing. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I think this is a good time to kind of wrap up this vlog. And I hope you had fun living in my mind for the day and seeing that I am just out here doing stuff despite having OCD and despite having intrusive thoughts, but also that you see that it's not really controlling me right now. And I'm really thankful for having that freedom. Although I have intrusive thoughts, I'm not obsessing over things. I'm not feeling compelled to do those compulsions that my OCD wants me to sometimes. I have much more agency over my life and agency over what I'm doing and what I want to do, and a lot more freedom, and it's not so bad. As I've said before though, I think a lot of this freedom that I have from my OCD comes from having done ERP and having done the whole process and gone through it and really committed to it and said, well, I'm not going to live my life this way and I'm going to do something about my OCD. And it's something that I really can't say enough about because it really does, I believe, save lives. If it's something that you're interested in, now would be a really good time to start. There's no time like the present. You know, better later than never, I guess, if you're, you know, been struggling for a while. But regardless, NOCD is a really good place to start. So if that's something that you're ready to do, you can go to NOCD.com or treatmyocd.com, and you can do that right now and talk to a specialist that is fully versed in OCD and has heard it all, has heard all of the crazy things that have gone through people's minds and has helped them get better. We owe it to ourselves to get better and to live the lives that we want to, that we deserve to. Don't wait. If it's something that you're interested in and you want to do and you're ready to do, don't wait for it. I am going to get going and I will see you guys next time. Bye.